quem vai levar amanhã é a Leviatán, porque eu gosto de time. Eu gosto bastante do time deles, mas vai ser jogão, vai ser 2 a 1. Vai ser um bom jogo porque a Navi já tá vindo com um bom time e a Leviatán vai bater porque a minha confiança neles é maior.
Eu boto uma grana na Leviatán, porque eles fizeram, tipo, a equipe dos sonhos, assim, da Latam. Tipo, pegaram os melhores jogadores da CRU e ainda trouxeram o NZR, que é muito bom, já jogou na Fúria. E é isso.
Bom, eu acho que a Leviatán vai ganhar por conta dos jogadores, são muito sólidos. O time da Navi é um time novo e a equipe da Leviatán vem sendo muito consistente em todos os jogos, então acho que em questão de mapas e em jogabilidade eles estão bem melhor. E acho que é isso, a Leviatán vai ganhar.
We started the EMEA bracket with 16 teams and now we're down to our final 4. It's the Americas versus EMEA. Hello everyone and welcome to day 12 of Lock-In, coming to you live from São Paulo, Brazil. I am your host Yingsu and I'm joined at the desk by 2 of my favorite people. I definitely wrote this, guys. This is all me. Mimi and Bala. Welcome, guys. Today is going to be an absolute banger of a day.
Yeah, I'm very excited to get into this one. I mean, just the amount of fantastic games that we're going to see today is going to be absolutely fantastic. Bala, I was honestly expecting you to pop off because you were popping off before we even
Well, I was, because everything is making me happy. Even when Sue, like, slightly throws us under the bus and says she's not our favorite, or we're not her favorite.
No, you are. But you are my favorite, most EMEA biased NA caster / analyst / person.
I don't know what you just said, but okay.
That
I'll
was
take
a
it.
series of words that has come out of your mouth. So.
I'm glad you noticed. But speaking of bangers, I feel like yesterday when we were in this arena, it was crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Bala, the atmosphere, the games, everything that we got, I feel like was one of the best days of Valorant we've ever had.
Yeah, and the games weren't even necessarily outside the 100 Thieves or the Fnatic Furia when the first map was obviously a banger, but the game after that didn't go the distance, and it was still such a good day. It's led to such interesting matches today as well, so I just can't wait.
Yeah, it is going to be so exciting to see the games today. But to recap from yesterday, it was this 100 Thieves versus Footballers game that you were talking about, and I think Foot came out, and again, really impressed. It's another one of these games for 100 Thieves where they look like the clear favorite coming in. Everyone thinks, all right, easy and done with, they're going to get this one out of the way. But Foot put up a very good fight. I think their answers to Lotus, the way they play that map is still excellent, but at the end of the day, it came down to Icebox. 100 Thieves still great on that map, and they took it home.
Yeah, Kiwi looked like an absolute threat on the server, but this game happened, and I think both the teams that made it out of yesterday really put up a strong threat from these uprising teams. Fury was insane, that clutch from QCK, and so many moments as well. But Fnatic was able to put them away, and I think proved to be the super team that we thought they were.
Yeah, and I think for both Fnatic and 100 Thieves, yesterday was about playing games that were way closer than they probably looked like they were going to be on paper, but still having the ability to kind of resist the pressure, come back, and win out.
Well, the EMEA bracket is almost completed. The circle is almost full. This is the last stage now before we head into the semifinals, of course. We have Navi versus Leviatán and 100 Thieves versus Fnatic. Bala. It is the Americas versus EMEA.
Yeah, I think this is kind of what most people actually expected to the teams to reach this stage. And yes, there was actually, I think the most surprising one was even all the way back in the beginning, Team Liquid vs Secret. But for the most part, this bracket has proceeded and led us to the top 4 in it that we really did expect.
Yeah, it has been a pretty clear one, but that has led us to, I think, the best games we could possibly have today. We have teams who have already looked incredible throughout this in both of these matchups, and it's going to be so exciting who continues.
Yeah, I think we're getting to the stage, like you said, Bala. People maybe expected this to be the top 4 of this bracket, but I don't know if the top 2 is going to be the ones that people expect. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of swing both ways you could go today.
Yeah, I think for like prediction-wise, it's really difficult to go either way, right?
Yeah.
I think this is the most 50-50 we can get in this bracket for the most part. Before, I think you'd having mostly unanimous predictions because there was a clear favorite.
I feel like we're going to have a bit of a stressful day just with how close the games are going to be. So let's do something fun.
Okay.
Golden Boy hosted the Alphys when we had the Alpha bracket. So I'm very honored to be able to take over and host another award for the EMEA bracket. Of course, the EMEA Law Awards. Welcome,
It's honestly
everybody.
really sad
Welcome.
to see the amount of professionalism fall off. The Alphys was such a well put together fair, we had suits, we had ties, we had everything, and
Yeah.
now we're putting the word lull in things. Like, what happened,
Mimi,
guys?
if this makes you feel better, we have medals now. We have actual,
Okay, so we have upgraded a little bit.
legitimate medals. We have prizes for the Omegalos.
I mean, that looks quite prestigious. I think I
it
got
is.
the same thing in like second grade for getting like 4th place in the spelling bee. So
Only
that's
4th
big.
place, Mimi? I don't know if that's a flex. I don't know if that's a flex. As much
I'm
of
not
a flex.
very good at spelling, so maybe it is.
Well, let's get into the awards. So we do have some nominees. I believe both of you have nominated
Yep.
who you think should be winning, and I will be
course.
reading out the winners. Up first, it is the most alpha move of the Omega bracket. So let's start with whichever one you want to start with. Who nominated who?
I'll kick things off. I wanted to talk about King here, but you know what? I want to give you your moment. I want to give you your moment here, Art.
Yeah, I have nominated Angel. These both moments, I think, that you already know what they might be, are really, really good. So let's go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, this is King doing his thing. I personally, honestly, this probably is one of the best moments of all of Valorant history at this point. So great nomination, Mimi. I respect this one.
Yeah, I am definitely a big fan of seeing what we've gotten out of King thus far. This guy's been fantastic as an individual throughout the tournament, still been putting up great calls, and just the clutches. I mean, it is just an alpha moment every time. Standing up like that, like another iconic moment. It's just like the mouse kiss from Champions.
Yeah, it might not be the most, like, in-person alpha moment, but I think in the server, Angel has just gotten just some ridiculous moments, too. This one, where he TPs into spawn and then goes on to get the ace as the IGL and the guy you expect to die first every round. I mean, there's a running gag with this guy, and he does this. So, yeah, I'd give it to him for an in-game moment.
Is that alpha, though? I feel like this isn't even alpha. He's running in, he's dying first, or getting
He
the first
TP'd
kill
in
every
the spawn.
time.
What do you
He
mean?
does that
Okay.
every event.
That is true, but I'm going to read out the winner here. The most alpha move of the Omega bracket goes to, drum roll, it is King.
Oh,
King is the winner, yes.
Well deserved.
He is not
picking
here.
these?
He's warming up right now. So Mimi, you can, I believe you're accepting the award
Of course,
on his behalf.
I will forward this to him, take it on his behalf. I'm sure he'll be very happy to accept this prestigious award. You can see very thick, 15-karat gold on this one. Only the best
It
here
looks
in
like a
Valorant.
piece
Alright.
of chocolate. That
Let's move on.
No,
Let's move
it's
on
a
to
real
the next
award.
one. Let's move on to the next one. We have the next award is the best shorty of the tournament, and the nominees are.
Yes, Monyet on GE, in my opinion, has had the most. I wouldn't even give it to Twistin, who is my shorty god. I gave it to Monyet instead, because this round, just so silly, too. On Pearl, and he's just in the smoke. He just jumps everywhere. It's just ridiculous from him. There's so many moments, too, because we were tallying the shorty kills, and he got way up there.
Was this supposed to be about Shorty like the gun?
Wait, is that why you nominated Mini?
I didn't think it was about the gun, but my nominee for Shorty of the tournament has to go to Mini and his walkout versus Fnatic. He was very short in this moment. Look at that. What a great Shorty.
God, okay, this has got to be one of the greatest nominations.
I mean, he
ever.
recognizes it too, even though he knows that he deserves his award.
Honestly, Mimi, I think you might be right, because I can reveal that the best shorty of the tournament goes to. It is Mini. Yeah.
Okay,
Who's picking
that
these?
makes
I
sense.
didn't even
That
I didn't
makes
even
sense.
nominate
No.
some.
No, our
That makes
prestigious
more sense.
our prestigious panel did vote for this.
Who's
so.
on the panel?
Kurt. You.
Oh, God.
He's not here to accept his award either. Enjoying the Mini fistums. Love that. So here's another medal. I'm sure you're going to be able to pass that on to Mini.
Since
Of
you
course,
nominated, I guess.
hotel bar tonight. I'm gonna give it to him. You know, I mean, the players we invited. I'm gonna get this on. Don't worry,
Okay,
guys.
while
This
you
is
do
very
that, we're going to move on to the next one.
I
This
could
is-
accept an award or two, just like.
Well, I believe in you. I believe
No,
in you.
it's
You
fine,
might
Bo,
have
I
a
got
chance
it.
for the next one, because this is the best team with pistols, but not on the pistol rounds. Now, okay, what I'm hearing from production is that the Valorant Roundtable has unanimously picked a winner. You guys, your nominations were voided. I'm very, very sorry.
What?
And the best team with pistols, but not on pistol round, is Team Vitality.
I had a good team that I nominated too.
Apologies. This has been overruled.
How
Our
is it a
panel-
round table if it's only Kurt? That's just like a single point. You can't have a circle with one person around it.
I mean,
fair.
you have to take it up with him.
To be fair, I think this is a pretty good winner on this award for the best team with pistols, not on pistol rounds.
They were
Wait, did
pretty-
you nominate them? Did you and Kurt rig this? I think Bala and
say I
Kerr
did in any
exist.
specific way.
Just for that, I'm gonna let Mimi also make sure that she can pass this
Honestly,
on to Team
again,
Vitality as
deserved.
well. Mimi,
Vitality, I think they're already on their flight home, but you know, I'll plan a trip to Paris.
At the end of
I'll
this-
drop
she
it
is
off.
fluent in French, so
That
what's the next
fluent is an
time-
overstatement.
Next
and a
time you
half.
go to France, you can do this. And last but not least, we have our final category, the EMEA Bracket All-Star Team. Bala,
Okay, I
who's
can win
on your
this.
nomination?
I can win this. I can win this.
Yeah.
I've got Xiao. I was actually going to put all Navi players, but I decided against it for the spirit of the award. I've got Xiao, I've got Shy, I've got King in the middle, I've got Bang as controller, and I've got Twistin as primary duelist. Yes, I could have put CNED. Yes, I could have put Angel. Yes, I could have put Sugetsu.
Twistin.
Yeah,
Out of
Twistin.
all the players we've seen in this bracket thus far.
Give him some love. Give him some flowers. I think you have to for an award show like this. I don't want to put it just all
I'll
players
give
in the
him
top
flowers,
4.
but I won't give him the award.
He's won an award already for the
well,
pistol round.
you know what?
Yeah.
Screw it. At the end of this, you're going to be wearing more gold than your body weight. So
Yeah, these medals are quite heavy. My neck is craning. But for my picks, I had a very prestigious roster, and I gave myself a limitation, made it a little bit harder. No 2 players from the same team. You know, you're giving a little bit too much credit to Leviatán. They're good, but my team is going to be Derek, MW Zera, Bang, Xiao, and King. This is a fantastic
I like
lineup.
this.
You have absolute star power here with Durka in the mix. He's been looking like an absolute superstar throughout this event. He's holding some floppy disks. And he's
I'm
about to be
surprised
holding
you know
an
what that
award.
is.
Of course I know what that is. MW Zera, great debut as a flex player. I guess re-debuted at an international event. Bang has been consistent. You got the clutches out of Xiao and great initiator utility from him. And you gotta have King, the star, the IGL. He can do it all. This is a super team to end all super teams. And by all, I specifically mean your super team is the one being
we had 3 players who were the same, Mimi.
Mine is better.
I'm leaning towards Mimi for this one, but let me reveal the winner for the EMEA Bracket All-Star Team, and this one goes to Twitter. I think you guys at home are supposed to be voting for this, so
can
you're
I
gonna
have the
get a
medal?
chance.
Can I have
You're
the
gonna
medal?
we'll see what they vote. We'll see what
My
Twitter votes
neckline
for.
looking kinda empty.
You guys at home, make sure you scan the QR code, go to Twitter, and vote for who you think should be the EMEA Bracket Super Team. It was Bala's nominations or Mimi's nominations. So far, Mimi is winning out on this one. So
Oh, I'm doing
I
great
kind of
thus
have a
far.
feeling as to how that's going to go, but also make sure you tweet at us as well using hashtag VCT and hashtag VCT lock-ins as well. We're going to take a quick break, so give Mimi some rest. I think her neck is craning from how much gold she's currently
You know, it
donning.
feels
You're gonna
good to win.
deliver
This
those?
is making up for the spelling bee.
Oh, well now you know what EMEA feels like. Now we're
What
going
do they do in the Olympics? They bite the gold medal?
we'll figure that out in the break.
All right, move on.
Let's figure it out and we'll come back and see what Mimi's going to do. We'll see you guys in a sec. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you're ready for more shenanigans because it's time to dive into our first match of the day. It is a big one, Navi versus Leviatán. But before we get into what they're doing now, let's go back to the start. Go back to where it all began, Mimi. Masters Copenhagen, when we first saw what these teams can do.
Yeah, and for both these teams, that was their debut international event. And for the side of Leviatán, it was an event of chaos, of looking like they were going to go out early, but by just some ridiculous plays, managing to pull off a win over Exet with some of these absolutely wild, iconic rounds. Back then, Leviatán was not the same team they are now. They were so much more defined by the individual skill, by the chaos, by their ability to make crazy calls under the pressure of this new stage for them.
Yeah, I think it was chaos for them. They didn't have their coach at that point. It's been a steady rise for them too, but remember who won that tournament? And I think the really interesting thing is both these teams, that was their first international tournament. FPX back then, Navi now, did win, and I think they started to look like the best. Remember, they had that lower bracket run. Sugetsu wasn't even there, and they went crazy throughout.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great debut for both of them, but things obviously have changed a little bit as time gone on with LEV. Mimi, they could potentially make their first ever top 4 if they can win today.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, Bala, this has been a continual upswing since then for Leviatán. They looked rough at Copenhagen. They pick up a fantastic coach and are able to make a run at Champions, and they still fall flat. They still get eliminated in that one, but now here, they've come in and are looking absolutely strong and are on the verge of finding what would be this team's strongest placement ever.
Yeah, I think what was cool about their Champions run, too, is during that group stage, I think a lot of people, once they had their coach back, might have said they looked like the best team coming out of groups.
Yeah.
It was just a rough playoff stage for them where they end up losing to the eventual winners in Loud. Yeah, Owner, I think, has a big part to play in how this team has gone on a steady rise.
And this would feel like the logical next step in that steady rise. Going from falling in the playoffs early to in this one, if they can take this series home, finding that top 4 finish and continuing that upward trajectory.
I mean, this is the thing, right? The expectations at this point is that this team can do that. I think back at Copenhagen, it was kind of like, oh, what can they do? And now we know what they can do, which is what's going to be making it very, very exciting. But I want to move on to the other side of Navi because, Bala, you already mentioned, they've lifted a trophy before. And even though they've added CNED, they can be one of the first teams, the only team that could potentially lift another trophy.
Yeah, I mean, Loud has a chance this tournament as well, but Navi looks really, really good. So, yeah, could they get a second? I think the argument is yes, for sure, because you've already seen them do it once. That's the type of thing that you kind of need to see one time for you to truly believe it can happen again. And I think it's all led by, Angel and the amount of prep and individual setup that every single player is doing. It's looking like they're honestly practicing out of their minds, and everybody individually too, just working so well within the strategy and setup provided by Angel.
Yeah, and harkening back to Copenhagen, when they won that event, it was with a sub. It was with probably the hardest run they could possibly have, playing game after game, day after day. Here, it's single elimination. They've had their full roster. They've had plenty of time to practice. It feels like the stars might be aligned for them to be the first team to win another tournament.
This is the thing, though. Both teams have a lot for them, a lot of positives why they can win. But is there anything against them? Is there anything that you feel like could potentially mean that they're going to fall short?
Yeah, I mean, just the fact that it's never happened before for Navi, I think, is very clear. I mean, you could see basically the different winners of international tournaments and how it's kind of not happened again. Optic was the closest. Actually, Gambit for sure, all the way back in 2021, but Optic last year was the closest. But FPX, they still have made it to top 4 both times. This would basically be a repeat of that if they can just win this game. So that's not enough. They have to even go further.
Yeah, the expectation is definitely victory for this team, and I think anything less, and I think they will be a little bit disappointed in themselves for not being able to do so. For Leviatán, though, I think they do feel that similar pressure because they have been so incredibly hyped up heading into this event. I think out of all the teams here, people have been the most excited about Leviatán. The Scrimbucks have been the highest. So making that top 4, maybe even winning the tournament, I think hitting those heights is now the expectation. It has changed infinitely since when we first saw them.
I mean, both of you are kind of touting up that both of these teams have what it takes to win. But Mimi, are these two teams, in your opinion, the best teams we have right now in this tournament?
In my opinion, I think that these are the two best teams that we have seen thus far in the lock-in. I think that for Navi, they have looked incredible. Every player looks like a star. Their ideas have been fantastic. And the same for Leviatán. Everyone is popping off. They seem so much more structured. They seem like such a more complete team than even the already good heights they were hitting in the past.
Yeah, I think the answer for Navi is 100% yes. Number one, they've proven that they could do it before, and they look as clean as you could ever imagine with the addition of CNET too. But for Leviatán, I could see the argument. I could see the argument, but what I would say in negative to them is that they kind of have looked like they've struggled a little bit against weaker teams so far. They've had to have insane moments from King. They've had to have ridiculous clutch and potential to continue even in this tournament. Yes, the Scrimbucks are in their favor, but they still need to prove a little bit more for me.
Well, let's break it down a little bit more. When it comes to the styles of both of these teams, Mimi, talk me through why Leviatán are up there.
I think part of the reason why I think that Leviatán is actually a competitor for being one of these top-tier teams is exactly what you're mentioning, Ball. The fact that they've had hard games and that they still are able to come out in these close series and make absolutely wild calls to win out. This team is excellent under pressure. They were even all the way back at previous events, and you're seeing similar plays here. This call was wild. Mazzino teleporting behind as this team pinches onto site, and Vitality gets overwhelmed. But the way this team plays is just full confidence.
Yeah, but this is exactly the type of chaos that you were talking about when they were at Copenhagen, right? Sure. It's almost exactly the same play. It's just a different controller on their team instead, but they still end up punching it out. That is going in their favor for sure, but it's not necessarily the type of consistency and comfortable spot that you need to be.
Yeah, I think that there is that question of consistency, but for me, they've also shown that in more normal rounds, they can also be fantastic in the mid-round.
Yeah, I did want to bring up some stats here because that kind of lead in both directions, right? Both Navi and Leviatán look so good in comparison to the field. You can see on the stats right now. But what I'm talking about when you're talking about weaker competition, Navi have faced also not the best competition, but they've done it in a much cleaner fashion.
I'm feeling a bit of a divide here. I feel like you're really confident in Navi. They've proven themselves. And Mimi, I think you're singing the praises of Lev. But I think we need to dive deeper when it comes to the players. And I think two of the players, King on one side and Xiao on the other. Mimi, these two players are just so instrumental right now.
I think we've already mentioned King quite a bit. And I want to continue to hype him up because he has been having an absolutely all-time great tournament here. You talked about the clutches, Balla, and you say in a way that that's a weakness. I think that Navi has also had to rely on these moments, but for me, I've seen so much consistency from Leviatán in being able to win out these late rounds, in King being able to clutch up these wild situations. I mean, again, there's that same round flashing back. They still channel that chaos, but they've added in structure. They've added in the ability to have consistent calls when they aren't leaning into that style. Yeah. I think this team can do both at this point.
Yeah, well, I think the point, though, being that Navi have had to rely on clutches a little bit, yes, but and I'm not going to doubt you on that at all. I agree with that, but it hasn't needed to be close. They haven't needed to rely on Xiao to clutch the 24th round type of thing, and I think that's really important, right? I think in all their games so far, they have had some slight uprisings from teams like Crew, like Secret, but every single time it ends up being just a stomp towards the end. Like even that comeback, the 9-3 on Lotus against Crew, was really, really easy for them in the long run.
Sure, but they still had to rely on that comeback. I feel like every time we've seen a half played out of this Leviatán roster, they're always able to come back in, take that tack pause, come up with an idea to be able to fix things. They've had close games, but they haven't had a half where they've been completely locked out yet.
Yeah. One thing as well, and I'll give you a point here for King as well, because he's matching Xiao. You know, the Xiao show. He's matching the Xiao show in terms of clutch rate. He's at 46% or something like that. Xiao's at like 43%. They both are in the double digits of attempts, which is ridiculous for a single elim tournament where they're only playing 2 best-of-3s so far. That is absurd.
But I also think those moments that Xiao haven't been involved with, if they needed him to, we know that he will step up. He has what it takes to do those things. But it wasn't just you guys that weighed in this debate. I think a lot of people, a lot of other pro players as well on Twitter, they were expressing how much they loved King's performance. Chet here just saying that the best player in the world is King, straight up. I think Artist also weighed in on this as well and tweeted that King is the best Valorant player in the world right now, and it ain't even close.
I think a little bit of hyperbole there, but still, I think that what he's saying is valid because this guy is winning out in the clutches. He's having consistency as an individual. He's changed roles heading into this tournament and has still looked just as good individually as when he was playing that dive duelist, and the calls have been excellent.
Yeah. But it is Chet, it is Artist. Those guys like to tout the Scrimbucks like crazy. Every single time they lose a scrim, they're on Twitter. So don't read too much. I mean, read into it because he's already proven it here at this event. But, I mean, there's still so many things on these teams. I think the argument for both of these teams being the top 2 teams at the event is very true. So this could be a final, basically, is what we're saying. This could be a final.
I mean, I hope they're going to give us the quality of what we're going to get in a grand final. I'm with both of you. I think both of you are swaying me a little bit, but I have something to share for you. Because before this, but specifically for the two of you, we have something new and exciting to share with you guys at home as well. It is the debut of a long-awaited new skin line coming to Valorant. You're going to be able to get your hands on these skins very, very soon. That's right. It is the return of the Oni! Woohoo!
Gi, Yu, Jin, Rei, Makoto, Mei, Chu. 鬼にかような徳などいらぬ。なんだ。獰猛なる野生。 容赦なき激高アレス異常なまでの高難 混沌と憤怒悪名太く好きに呼べばいい我らが真の道は鋼が開く鬼丸国津苛烈猛然と 貴様の道は生まれる前から決まっていたそう鬼の道だ
Take my money. Take my money. Just
Cop.
take all of it now.
Cop
Who do I
instant.
give it to? Of course, you guys at home, make sure you use the hashtag VCT LOCK and VC2 and tell us what you think about the new Oni skins and why the katana is objectively the best knife weapon now. No debate. I don't want any
Did you
debate.
see the reflection?
Oh,
It's unreal.
it's so pretty.
It's incredible.
So
The
cool.
blood animation.
Oh.
You were telling me earlier how much you spent on skins already in the shuttle, and I
No.
know
Wait,
that
how
number
much?
is going up.
How much?
after
How
this
much,
one.
Bala?
No, I'm not. I can't say it on air. It's just too embarrassing.
Do it. Do it. Tell us. You have to, Bala. Come on.
$3,000.
Wait, tweet at us and let us know if any of you have spent more than $3,000 on the skins, more than Bala. I want to know. I want to know if someone's out there that spent more than Bala.
There's surely someone. It's Ye. Ye's gonna comment. I think he's bought every skin.
Oh, no.
Actually, you might be right. I think, yeah, Yay, if you're watching, let us know. Yeah.
in pain.
But earlier we took a poll and asked you guys at home who had the best Omega bracket all-star lineup, Mimi or Bala.
What are you doing with
I'll
the
take
medal
your
already?
word. I'll
The
take your
results
word.
are in and it's
take your word.
overwhelmingly
Oh, come on. No, 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 no.
So I think Bala, you should be giving this back to me.
No, no.
I also think it was. I also think she's right, though. I think you leaving out Durka was a bit of a troll, personally.
I would have picked CNET if I
This is
didn't
my
pick
medal.
Durka.
This is my medal. I won this.
So like
Fair
it's
and
just not
square.
even it's not even relevant to Durka.
But
It's just
congratulations, Mimi. You've got 3 awards to pass to the winners, and you've got one yourself as
This
well.
is my greatest moment.
Our first analyst who's won an award in the Alfies and Omega-Lows. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Anything you want to say acceptance speech?
I want to thank my parents, the academy, and Durka for winning me this poll.
Okay, fair enough. Well, before we
This is
jump
not
into
fun.
the games, I want to do a bit of predictions as well, because you guys at home know how much I'm loving being
Okay.
able to use the whiteboard, and this is my prediction today.
What is
I've got the
Wait.
the
That's pretty
king
good.
Wait, were we supposed to do
ruling
I
over
forgot
his
to do this.
kingdom.
Let me.
But yeah, what have you got, Bala? What have you got?
That's really good. I tried to match the drawing, so here you go.
Wait, so 1 second, guys. I'm making mine. I'm
Yeah.
making mine. This is
That's
just, this is
Angel,
just
by the
art,
way.
right? Today?
Yeah.
What
okay.
did you
No,
do,
it's a
Mimi?
prediction.
I'm a bit
Wait,
worried. What did you
wait,
do?
I
What
just-
did you do?
I just made art. I made the scream. Wait, were we supposed to do predictions?
You're supposed to draw your prediction.
Oh,
She was too busy
Leviatán.
winning.
Wait. Leviatán.
I mean, you were too busy collecting
I
medals.
still think this is potentially the best drawing of all time. So doesn't matter how much money I spend on skins.
Steve.
What? It's Angel. Like, it's Angel.
It's not too bad.
Right.
It's not too bad. But Mimi, you need to get your homework. You need to do your homework for next time. But today,
got scolded by Mom.
well, today decides which two teams from the Omega bracket will make the semi-finals. The best of the best are here. You've heard it from Bala. You've heard it from Mimi. We have some of the best teams left in this entire tournament, and we're about to find out who's going to be going through to the semis between Navi, Leviatán, Fnatic, and 100 Thieves. Lock in Day 12 starts right here and right now. Two of the best teams in this entire tournament going head to head. Angel looking to lead Navi to pick up another trophy, and King, they're just looking to make history for Leviatán, and so far, Mimi, I feel like they already have.
They already have. They've had a fantastic upward trajectory, but last time at Champions, that trajectory, those heights, they were shut down by the core of this Navi squad. They eliminated them then, but things have changed since. New rosters on the side of both teams. Will it go differently today?
Yeah, and I'm looking at two different players as well. Ones that we really didn't talk about in the pre-show, but one I think that makes a lot of sense in this current situation, in this current meta. It's Shy versus Sugetsu, because we have a pure Sentinel meta right now, and they are both looking insane at this tournament.
And well, Sugetsu is an icon on the role. This is something new for Shy, right? He came into the Sentinel role really just for this tournament and has looked absolutely fantastic on it.
I want to talk about the map vetoes before we actually show them, because both of these teams have proven to have a really nice map pool.
Yeah, I think one key thing for Navi is that they've shown not only that the popular maps they're really, really strong on at this event, for example, Pearl, but they've also come up with some nice things on a bunch of different maps as well, and even shown some Lotus.
Yeah, Leviatán will continue with their standard ban in Split. I'd expect Navi to get rid of Haven. They've been banning that all tournament, and that could be tough for Leviatán. It's their best map.
I would like to see Ascent. I would love to see Ascent between two of the best Ascent teams. Oh, here we go,
Remember, we saw it last time. We're going to get it again. This is a direct rematch.
Yeah, and I think this is a really good choice for Leviatán just because it's good for them not only, but also the comp that Navi runs is exploitable. They don't have a Sova, they don't have a Killjoy, and on the other side, Leviatán is running that Killjoy.
Yeah, that they are. Fracture is where we head next. This is the choice of Navi. I think this is one that makes sense for them. Leviatán have not had to show this map just yet, and I think Navi's biggest strength is that Angel, his philosophy is that we are going to play every map. We are going to have something prepped anywhere. They very much are fixated on winning these map vetoes.
And I think this is exploitation from Navi as well. Not having shown this map and also not seeing it from Leviatán, Navi knows it's strong, and they're potentially going to be able to force a Pearl in this map pool as well.
Leviatán also forced to get rid of that Lotus, because again, it's one of those maps where Navi has shown it. Navi is comfortable. They've been in control of this veto. They get Pearl as the decider. It feels like those last two maps very much favor Navi, but Leviatán, I have a lot of faith in them on Ascent. It has always been one of their strongest maps, but same is true for Navi.
Yeah, the interesting thing here is that Navi, out of all of the times, the 9 times they've played Ascent at international tournaments, have never started on defense. They picked to start on attack the last time we saw them, but this time, Bala, they decided to go with defense as we head into the Prime Gaming Agent Select. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that one's interesting. I think this map definitely favors the defense, and I think in their game yesterday, or in the prior game that they had, they definitely showed a little bit on defense that was really strong for them. So I'm definitely happy with that, and looking at the agent select, it's really looking standard across the board. The same disadvantage that I was talking about for Navi and the advantage for Leviatán. Let's see if it actually shows up in the server.
Yeah, we're going to get to see pound for pound some of these direct matchups we were talking about. Taco versus CNET on this jet roll. You get the battle of the IGLs between Angel and between King. This is a map where mid-rounds on the attack are critical. Both of these teams looked excellent at that on this map of Ascent.
Yeah, and I also want to give a shout out to your casters for today. Saisho and Brand, they canceled their fishing trips just to be here with us. Thank you very much, guys.
Yep, the rivers of Sao Paulo were looking awfully tasty, but instead I gave it up to cast this match here, because that's just how much it means to me. Leviatán versus Navi, this is a battle that you do not want to miss in the slightest, because these are two teams, Josh, with a ton of history between them.
Yeah, what a game. Two heavyweights meeting at this point in the bracket. The desk was talking about the fact that had they met somewhere else, maybe this could have been a grand finals matchup. And they have a lot of history against each other too. It feels like Navi are the final barrier for Leviatán to break through and become a title contender. It was this squad, captained by Angel, that knocked Leviatán out of Champions. And if Leviatán can get through here, this would be their best placement at any event they've been to. And certainly the hype is behind them. The question, can they live up to it?
Let's find out here. Very fine staging ground. Ascent is our first map that we see both of these teams playing in a boatload of util. Going to be used to clear out the pizza area fight as well. This is a quick reaction, I believe, from Navi, looking to try and fight them inside mid from Cat. Kill still being found, though, as Market is locked down. And CNET, the man of the hour. 2 kills with a frenzy in his hand and plenty more bullets to go. Looks like his next target hunting for Shy, but shot just going straight.
And what incredible pressure for Navi to put on to Leviatán early there, challenging them as they're taking the space for their B split, not allowing them to get comfortable whatsoever. But we've seen Leviatán get scrappy and clutch. However, this crossfire just looks a bit too good. Nozwa left.
Nozwa left, and already players going to be swarming his position, so unable to really pull off the miracle that was needed. So first pistol round going to Navi. And whilst we're on the topic and speaking about Ascent as well as his first map pick for them as well, Josh. Now, I was speaking to the Navi guys as well recently, you know, may have been having a beverage or two.
Okay.
And I said to Doom Bros, you know, this upcoming matchup, Ascent, very strong map for both of these teams, right? You know, Navi, they love to play this in the past with that FPX core. It's a fantastic map for them, but the same could be said for Leviatán. So I was saying, like, listen, they've been talking all this smack about how strong their map pool is. Why not ban and take away Ascent? But no, he welcomed the challenge. He welcomed it.
And that's the scariest thing, actually, about Navi, is that they just look good on every map that they've played so far.
Yeah.
And I think this map pool looks phenomenal. You're getting both teams at their absolute best map 1. And then Leviatán have been second round banning Fracture every time. We haven't even seen it from Navi. So completely untested territory, but an opportunity, I think, for the Navi prep to show. Leviatán, though, on the attack side are no slouches on this map. They like to group and burst through A main, B main, and I think you're going to see from both of these teams the Jet Omen entry. And teams have really refined that.
Shock Dart misses the trip. That's some counterplay.
Great trap.
Yeah, beautiful. Just out of range of the common Shock Dart that would normally remove all of that util. With the classics, hoping for a bit of a blessing there with the classic right clicks, jumping up to try and take these fights, but surrounded in every single position, so an easy cleanup across the board. 5 players surviving, that means that Prime Gaming flawless, so Navi looking strong.
And Navi have got great weaponry to, you know, lean into their bonus rounds, and it's something that the squad has been doing for a long time. The desk was talking about it, though, this battle between Sugetsu and Shy, we've got to keep track of it as this match goes on. A big difference in terms of their approach to this map, obviously, in the agent selection. But that's going to put a lot of pressure on the jet battle, too, because you've got to dodge those trips. And Sugetsu's a very crafty player. Bala's been talking about it. All of these guys are putting in crazy amounts of prep.
An early fight taken. A little bit of a cook strategy, it seems, because it's a pincer. They're just trying to basically collapse onto the top side of mid. But guess what? King ready to contain, and contain he does. 2 kills found for that one. Every single part of that plan, the bonus round cooked up by Navi, just falling.
It was almost over so quickly, it's difficult to tell what the game plan was. Clearly intended to put a lot of pressure on these players in Gelato. But Taco Lea's entrying stopped that strat in its tracks. Instantly getting rid of Zipan in A main, and the threat was essentially neutralized. I love the patience and the discipline from Leviatán in these kind of moments, though. They are not going to allow the 2 players from Navi to get into any unexpected positions, catch them unaware. They stabilize and spend a long time doing it before they finally group up and go for the hit. And it's that balance of thriving in the chaos, but also being very disciplined, that makes Leviatán such a difficult team to deal with. When you watch their most iconic moments, yeah, it can feel like chaos. It can feel like they're not in control of their own destinies. But the amount that they thrive in the midst of that, and then also when you watch them in rounds like this and how clean they are, they've got both ends of the spectrum masterfully covered.
Navi are going to make a go at this one, obviously, with the rifles. They got enough money to buy for the next round. This was their bonus. Very good at managing that economy, but such a task ahead of them in that 2v5. Have to be a ridiculous flick shot, but Xiao doesn't even land it. Still into the one-way, spraying it down. Angel can't quite spot that one. Mazzino crouch spraying across to eventually bring him down.
Decent damage, though, from Angel towards the end there. That'll be useful for them. Not the bonus that they were hoping for by any means, but at least it keeps the Leviatán economy suppressed just a little. I think what you're noticing here, though, is that Navi are applying a lot of pressure to mid. On their pistol round, they had a couple of players peeking from Catwalk, they had a couple of players trying to contest from Market, and stopping Leviatán from taking mid control easily. Seems to me like they want to try and force Leviatán to the outside of the map.
Prowler's going to be pushing back onto Taco. Was contained, though. Shot down before it could do any sort of damage.
Nozwa is 1 away from his ultimate, with the spike in hand, coming over to B main, the area that Taco and King have got under control. There's no opportunity for a re-push on Navi's side.
That's a big ult to gain for Nozwa. Hunter's Fury online, doesn't need to save it for any sort of lockdown. We'll see if he wants to cook anything up. Right through main, that sees is going to be a good connection and a re-peek as well. CNED takes a fight. Confidence in spades.
Wait a second, Angel?
Angel's TP'd across, they don't even know it. Cutting across, completely unaware.
That's an unbelievably good play from Navi. I don't know how they quite get the timing for it, but the seize and the re-push.
I mean, that's insane, isn't it? Mazzino, no, close angle. Oh my goodness, a little bit worrisome, but no, it does at least collect the 1 kill. Still.
But no real way of salvaging the
No
round.
real way of salvaging
Spike
it.
completely down. Mazzino still 2 away from his ultimate, so no chance of being able to recover it. But I think, again, you're seeing that Navi understand how to get value out of the Omen, and you better believe it, so does Mazzino. But Angel is going to be doing these crazy plays where he's syncing up with CNED, and you get this duo of pressure coming not from CNED and Zipan, as you might expect, but from CNED and Angel. And it's going to be the same on the other side, Taco and Mazzino. When they're trying to get into A, you'll see it very clearly. The attacking Omens teleporting in.
Yeah.
But even in that instance of the re-push on B, my God, I haven't seen that one done before.
It's the crazy thing about Angel. He's perfectly willing to put himself in the line of fire.
He's 5-1 right now. It's working for him. He's actually having a hell of a tournament. But we have seen Angel in the past. When he starts losing the duels, he still keeps taking them. And I think that could be something to keep track of as the series goes on too. With King, his IGL on the other side, he's just always going to give you at least a good performance, if not a great one. With Angel, it varies a lot more. Sometimes he looks like the best player on Navi. Sometimes he's at the bottom of the scoreboard dragging his team down.
Well, util committed there by Navi. Fragment nade to block off any sort of deep A main push. So they have early control of that one, but it's the response from Leviatán that's interesting. Dash activated, looks like going straight into Cat, into the Cloudburst, and straight into Heaven. If you're not ready for this one, it could do some serious damage, and Takali is looking to try and pincer any players that might be on the site, and he does claim his reward. With Angel falling, it's down to Zipan to still make the most of it. Locked down, still the players onto the site, and that squeeze and whine. Eventually, Zipan will fall.
Amazing pathing. Can CNED do anything about this?
Doesn't have the dash, though. Still is going to be joining him. Plant's going to start to go down here. It's a 3v4.
And Nozwa has the ult for the post plant too.
Yep, close. Horn's going to be spotting one of them. King, does he want to try and take this fight? It's the off angle, and still come out on top. Turret spotting Sugetsu. Has to be brought down. One more bullet will do it. Quick reload and backs away, but his crossfire from Leviatán is just a little bit too difficult to deal with. Drops down the spray. Does claim one, but eventually traded, and there you go. Well played by Leviatán.
Great pathing. I love that strat. They've brought it out a couple of times already. They've done it on a pistol round. They've done it now on 2 of the rifle rounds. And no team has been able to put up the right reaction to it. Those players in A main have to be fed the information that that's the way that people are going. And CNED knew he could see where Taka was going. He saw the smoke. But either he didn't feed the info or Angel and Zipan didn't react to it properly because they just got stuck in A main there. Great work by Leviatán applying maximum pressure. And now the economy in danger of breaking for Navi. Can Leviatán put another one on the board?
Crossed up into Pizza once more. This knife actually broken. Not too much info. Gains CNED. He overstays his welcome. See the disrespect there and a fast approach once more. Trying to at least apply that. Shao, what is that? Prediction into the Cloudburst, but it's just him left standing. King to his knees are going to be giving all the information as well. Mazzino cuts across with that TP. With the most to do, he is healthy. Shy weak, just trying to hold that angle, and guess what? Not expected. 4 kills in a round for Shy. What a consistent player he has been.
What a performance from Shy. That, I think, brings him 16-1 in terms of first kills to first deaths in the tournament. 16-1. Shy takes fights. He takes more fights than anybody else on Leviatán, and he's playing Killjoy most of the time. And he's winning every first duel.
Yeah, at 18 years of age.
18 years old, a brand new Sentinel player, and currently outplaying some of the best to ever do it.
Navi forced down to the weaker eye. Disrespect shown, though. They want the orb, because they want the Blade Storm, and that's what CNED's going to get. A very fast rotation, actually. Just a little bit of presence. No, it looks like they were second-guessing themselves there. Thought they were going to be trying to fast rotate over towards A, but just trying to shore up the defenses into mid. And Leviatán happy to take their time with this one.
They're pretty aware that Navi have been fighting them in mid. And in theory, that should mean that the burst plays into B and A are a little weak, a little easier to pull off because the defense is a little weaker. But look at this read from Angel. He's got 3 players. Zipan coming over as well. That's 4 ready to fend this off. I know it's only Sheriffs in the hands of Navi, but CNED with a Blade Storm and just the sheer quantity of players they got to get through.
Yep. Paranoia rips across there. Ult's going to be denied still. Leviatán do not cancel this hit. They have 45 seconds in the round. Dropping down. King has to make the most of this one, but still seen it at the back of the side, and another flash does push them back, and this is where it gets dangerous. Mazzino has something to say about it. The crossfire set up, immediate reaction from them, making sure to double up so it doesn't get too messy.
Very nicely done from Leviatán. Definitely thought Navi had their chances there. But we've seen that not quite being able to maximize his potential in backside. And honestly, just incredible awareness from the Leviatán guys. What I love about watching this team is their protocols are so drilled on the entry. There are always players at the back that are hanging there, waiting for rotators. They never get over-flustered and pile 5 people into the site. Very drilled team. Now Navi with a chance to reply. CNED, operator online.
Oh, and he hears the updraft. He's worried. Backs away from that angle. Knife broken, but, well, commits the dash anyway.
And how quick Leviatán are to take that space away from him. But I think CNED will have another bite of the apple here. He's such an aggressive player and one of the most skilled oppers in the world.
It's a shallow angle. That mid control that Leviatán did take, they backed away from it now.
And Xiao just threw a haunt for him in mid, so that's going to give CNED a bit more confidence to get up on this angle again and feed information to the rest of the team.
But it's setting this one up for a bit of an A-split, so it seems. Another smoke pushing them back. Prowler gives potentially some false information there. Shy catching that one, so Navi not going to be too committed over towards A.
It actually looks like this is going to be a lockdown fake. I'm not sure whether they'll call it off after King got spotted at Cat. But I could definitely see this being a lockdown fake with Shy and Taco.
Yeah.
They need to wait for long enough so that it's feasible that King could have gone away from Cat.
It's a spammable angle. Xiao's going to destroy it immediately. He's got the Odin in his hands.
Bit of a mistake there, isn't it?
That's a big slip up. Still, they want to apply it. Yeah, just waiting.
It's still bait Zipan.
Right into Cat. And they find that opening. They're going to take it down to Segetsu. Throwing out that neural theft. Gives him good information now. So he knows top mid going to be compromised to a degree. An opportunity for Navi. They can try and play this a little bit faster. Seeing their backs away. Someone needs to get rid of that drone. Util in the hand still. Through the cage now. Shock dart up close. And that angle. No, watch for yet. It matters not. Segetsu tried to cool down the weapon and take the fight anyway. Down, clearing out the players. All up to Shy. Still one more player to help him out in main. And each player does the job that was set up for them.
So clean from Leviatán. It really is. Even when the fake didn't work, even when Shy makes that misstep, Zipan still bites on it and just faces onto Catwalk, thinking that surely everybody is in B main right now, surely it's safe. And that is the pivotal error that allows Leviatán into the site to set up in those post plants.
And a timeout for Navi.
I don't know how many rounds you really need on the attack side here for Leviatán, but I don't think they need more than 5 to have a great shot at winning this map. Navi are already under pressure, and they're going into an eco round. Bren, you talked earlier about the map veto being a bit of a gamble, but Navi have been perma-banning Haven, Leviatán have been perma-banning Split. There are kind of, you know, different thought processes about that kind of stuff. Should Navi leave Haven open and just try to punish Leviatán? But they allowed Ascent to go through, and Ascent is extremely good for both of these teams. But even among the best teams in the world, sometimes there can be tier gaps.
Absolutely.
And unless Navi are able to respond quickly, you know, round 10 and onwards, Leviatán are at a serious risk of running away with this.
It's always that risk with the pick bans. We have 2 teams like this. The favored home ground between them being that Ascent map, so of course they want to be clashing on it, but we'll see. Early days, still 5 rounds on attack for Leviatán so far means that they are in quite a comfortable spot. It's going to be a similar presence and showcase of that utility at the beginning. This time though, Leviatán trying to fight it. Fast updraft there from Taco Leah. Doesn't claim too much more.
One of the other rough things too, actually, for Navi is that so far we haven't even seen that clutch, chaotic nature from Leviatán. It has been all preparation.
Yeah.
Navi haven't actually been able to push them, apart from the pistol round, into a position where things look scrappy and players have to step up. You know, King in particular being the player that has done it in the past.
This time only 2 players waiting for them onto the side still. Kill trip's going to be set up here, depending on how they play this one. One of them getting broken. Still the one on lane. Segetsu is going to get suppressed there, I believe, by the knife. So none of his util going to be helping him out. And this player at the back of the side is Xiao and Segetsu bailing each other out. Lovely flash over the top. Forces out that cloud burst. Cena's still alive, but he is going to be meeting his match. And still Xiao, weak enough. Yeah, the bullet finds the head anyway. A bit overkill if you ask me. Just down to Zipan. When he's that low, it's easy pickings.
And this is now the second time that Leviatán have finished B on an anti-eco round. And it's been close. That was still a fairly close round. It didn't look crazy dangerous, but you could imagine that if Navi had rifles, they could have won that. They've got good ideas. And I think that's going to naturally push Leviatán into going for more A finishes, A splits, for example, A bursts, rather than finishing B when rifles are active. The first step, though, is to get through CNED's op again. They were very good at being able to get around that before, but he plucks Taco out of the sky.
That's just counterplay. CNED's been hearing him updraft that many rounds in a row. Backing away, Kingo, what a play. Predicting the TP, he knew Angel was getting his little wee legs out of there.
Brings it into a 4v4, and two major players taken off the board. No defensive smokes, but also Taco can't dash in and create space for the rest of his team. How are Leviatán going to navigate that?
Grouping up towards A. With all that space that they gained prior. And the setup is relatively weak. Look at that kill trip set up for somebody just to close the door. Drone and a knife to try and clear through most of this one. TP forwards, and guess what? Not shooting with the cam because they haven't even realized it yet, but finally he does. Looking for the spray down to get to, won't get too much done there. They're completely avoiding door. There's the trip. Will there be a kill off of it? There's a seize. Not too much else though. Fragment nade pushes that into an unfavorable fight for King, so he's been taken out.
Very well done. The prep for Navi working, and now they start with the retake.
Yeah, fighting this hard as the plant was going down still. Can the players contain? CNED watching from heaven. This choke point just trying to get managed right now. Turret's going to be shooting him, eventually cleaned up. Still shy, he's going to be dealt with, and it's all down to Noswa. There's a knife, one kill though for him. Jump peek, doesn't give him the easy shot.
He's waiting for a tap.
Yeah, he's waiting for the tap, needs to hear this one. Finally, CNED baits it out. That's a dart though. It gives good information, has to get broken. Finally now sticking it, CNED. Going for half, Hunter's Fury against the Jet. A brave task indeed. Both shots missing and half on the defuse. 1-2, tries to sidestep it.
What a
clutch! That is so well played by CNED.
Fantastic stuff by CNED. It is so difficult to hit those shots with an operator. It is incredibly punishing. If you miss it, you've lost the clutch. You have one shot. If you shoot too early when they're jiggle peeking, you've lost the round. But CNED opens and CNED closes. A great round and showing that Jet prowess.
Oh my God. Just absurd.
With the map pool that we got, Bren, we are going to be treated to a Jet v Jet battle on Ascent and Pearl. Who knows what's going to happen on Fracture? But I'm hyped for it. Two heavyweights, CNED and Taco.
Despite winning the round, the money situation not looking too good. Having to buy into this one. Straight over the trip, going to be avoiding it. Cloudburst across, and so much util to set it up. The wider swing, and guess what? Similar play, Mazzino.
Good work though by Zipan.
Yeah, that was actually just reading that Mazzino was going to be trying to TP up there and ping out the locations on Heaven.
Yep, Zipan's watched the VODs, he knows what's going on. The play still worked, which is the best part about it. And there's the Jet battle again going the way you've seen it.
Still a threat, C's locking it down. Noswa, no sound cues for him. Guy's trapped now and being squeezed from every possible angle. And that right click, I mean, good lord. Plenty of time left in the round at the lockdown. Going to be hopping and skipping, doing a little dance. Celebration time, I suppose, for winning the round.
But what a play, and an incredibly decisive retake from Navi again. I'm loving what we're seeing here so far on Ascent, because we get to see all of the excellence of Leviatán's drilled executes into the site, but then we also get to see Navi, the flair from CNED, the disciplined retaking, the game plans for how to get value out of Sugetsu.
And the prep as well.
Yeah, this
Zipan's
prep.
kill here.
So good.
Obviously, that play being made in a series before, actually. Mazzino doing the exact same thing, so
yeah,
punishing that.
Actually, by the look of it in the replay, Sugetsu might have got a tag with the knife, with the cam too.
Right.
So maybe that was helpful as well for Zipan.
Potential to draw it even for the first half. Navi just one more round away from accomplishing that. CNED is going to get pressured though off that angle. There won't be a repeat. Instead, he repositions into B main.
We've seen Navi's ideas in B main already be excellent.
3 of them. Armbot's broken. Spam into the corner.
And that is a position that Shy loves to play.
He
Shy
does.
taking
Takes
the battle.
fight, and he wins it!
That's another first kill for Shy. He just can't lose those. 17-1.
And desperation, Angel just tanking the drone, standing wide out in the open. Dash forwards now. There's one player at the back of the site, that's Xiao. Got to do the most. Okay, 2 kills. Will he get a third? He's already done quite a lot for them. Nightfall now, scatters. Probably going to be latching onto 1. Positioning, no, and 3 kills. What more can he really do? And this has put the pressure on Leviatán. It was looking so favored for them, but King and Takolia, they've been in this position before.
But they are so trapped. They can't fake like they're going anywhere. Everybody from Navi has them. And when this plant gets tapped, or when the plant goes down, Navi are going to capitalize. Oh, that's a really badly missed nade there from Zipper. It was supposed to bounce.
They do get the plant down though. Pawn now, pressure, counter spam play, doubled up though, they punish it, Taco! The reaction, left to that 1v1, Xiao! He set them up, but can he finish it? Such an important round, 5 bullets. No sound cues being made, trying to fake the drop. Finally does it, and he lands it! Unbelievable! 5 kills in the round, and he's drawn his team even.
Xiao has been unkillable this tournament. Unkillable. I was looking at his stats before the series began, and it's just absurd.
Yeah.
He's winning 72% of his duels, on pace for that again, and throws an ace in there too. Not a single player can stop him. No one he's faced so far has been up to the task, has been up for the challenge.
Rabbit not ace. Gotta be kidding me.
That is an absurd clutch to put Navi at 6-6 in the half, and they needed it.
Top of the scoreboard for Xiao, but that's going to be the first half dealt with. Let's send it down to the desk to break it all down.
Thank you very much, guys. What a half that was. We talk about preparation from both teams, and Bala, we did see some really cool stuff on both sides.
Yeah, I think Navi started off really strong with the prep, and then Leviatán comes in. So I wanted to show a round from Navi that was really cool and shows the insane teamwork that this team has that led to kind of a nice start. This was that B main round where Xiao throws the C's. Not only is this for info, but the decay, and obviously the C's too, finds Taco, so that's the cue for them to swing. He's using a Prowler, CNET gets in there, and with the C's as well, they're obscuring the noise, and that's how Angel gets the TP in and is able to clean up Taco.
Navi had some really good stuff, but I also feel like they failed to counter out some of the set plays that we've seen from Leviatán before. They've done this setup multiple times throughout this event, and it's excellent, right? You're splitting through, you're breaking timings. It's very difficult for the anchors to win this out, but I feel like for Navi, they were struggling a little bit with the comms in that situation. Angel is trying to worry about 2 things to help his teammate in main and also worry about the flank. They get a little bit flustered and lose out on that one.
Yeah, and I think it's CNET there who's supposed to be able to hear him and calm to Angel that they're coming behind him. I don't know what's going on, but it seems like multiple situations right now, they're struggling with the communication. And Sue, you were talking about starting on attack for Navi consistently. That maybe is where you can get a little bit more of that communication where it's 100% necessary to make those calls.
Still, I feel like they are running into a big issue here because Leviatán have found a fantastic half.
6 rounds is no
absolutely
joke.
Excellent here on Ascent. And Leviatán is a really good team on the defense. Shy especially already popping off this map. Now he gets to be that killjoy on the defense, lock things down with his utility.
Was very good start for Leviatán here, but like you both said, Navi, they're one of the best teams in the world. If anyone has the secret into coming back into this, it is them. Let's get the second half underway and back to your casters, Sideshow and Brent.
6-6, they may have just done enough for it. Because at the end of the day, when we think about Ascent as a map, you know, that attack side can always be difficult for some of these teams. But listen, an even scoreline will be what we head into that second half with.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Xiao is just unkillable. Look at that stat at the bottom. A KDA of 3.56. And then look at what he's been putting up right now, 15-7. You expect it to go down playing against better teams, but right now, he's playing a blinder. Here we go, big play.
And it's an immediate punish.
Yeah, the recon dart just a bit too slow there, isn't it?
Yeah.
And also, Navi are all set up for it.
Trying to get a kill now, flooding straight through into main. I believe there's a Paranoia waiting. No, it's a smoke, Mazino. Looks like he wanted to just jump inside of it, and indeed he does. Exploration towards that area, and now he gets all the info that the rotation is abound.
Yeah, that's bizarre, actually, that they make so much noise. Oh, my word. Sugetsu getting more than he's ready for as Mazzino takes the timing off the footsteps. And now as Sugetsu knows that they've cleared out B main, he makes the comm. Hey, guys, maybe we should go back.
And
they think we've
way.
left.
Yeah, walking all the way.
I'm not sure whether that was a deliberate sound bait. It seemed a bit too committed on the rotate for me, but nevertheless, a very nice audible and mid-round decision from Sugetsu and Angel.
It's left down to Mazzino. Just outside of the smoke, bullets going wide there. Does have a couple of the paranoias, but guess what? Shy's backing him out, and a deeper smoke now so his team can actually start playing together off of this, moving forwards. Still have to deal with that B main presence because guess what? Sugetsu is there still. Shoulder's going to be seen. Mazzino takes the fight, running up to him, jumping right click this time to no avail. But eventually cleaned up. That's going to be the trade. So moving forwards now. 2 players from Navi at the back of the side. Angel lucky he didn't get his head ripped off. King's going to be aware of this one. Just clearing it out. Shock dart. No one close. Still Zipan. Going to be watched for a double swing. That's Zipan once more. Nozro can't hit the flick, and Navi getting that pistol.
It's a big pistol round. Said it before, but 6-6 is pretty important. Being able to get one on the board there favors them in this attacking half, and that's both pistols in the map, one for Navi. I think the crucial kill there is, honestly, the KO battle. King coming through, very aware of the angles, and really cautious about it too. But when it just came down to the straight-up aim duel, couldn't quite land the shot.
So Navi going to be opting into that famous buy, managing their economy. You can see that's the Bulldog, 2 rifles online, 2 ghosts on Sugetsu and Angel.
It always puts them in such a good spot.
Yeah, if they win this round, which you know usually they do, salvage the rifles, bring it up, and then you're going to be on even footing when it comes to that bonus round.
It's a similar kind of setup on the defense side for Leviatán here. Running Takolia and some kind of presence in pizza. A dash through, Shy tries to go forwards. There's a very rare first step.
Oh my goodness. Dash forwards from Taka to punish. Shorty in play. Met his match, Sugetsu. 1 shot to the head will do enough.
Extremely clean.
So clean.
And the rifles are going to get recovered there, so they still keep 3 into the next round. For Navi, they are still really good on the attack side. That's one of the great things about watching both of these teams on Ascent. They have a fantastic understanding of how to get into sites and then how to hold sites so that the retakers can't immediately swarm upon you. But on the defense side, I'm not sure I've ever seen someone as good at anchoring A as King is. I think that's part of why you saw Chet and Artist tweeting about him being the best player in the world. We'll see whether Navi want to opt into challenging that A defense at some point, as it looks like this could be an A split.
Setting up for it.
It's a very nice 0 point from Zipan there, because it clears out the area of the map that CNED is going to without Zipan having to give up his position.
Prowler broken though. Taco immediately backing up there to Heaven. Threatening as well into mid while all this is happening. That's just the presence towards Cat, trying to draw those rotations. While Navi claim the rest of the map straight through the middle into market now. Nozwa spots the one, cancels it. Almost getting that spam kill, but now they're really just starting to turn up the heat, aren't they? Flooding into that site. How does Shao get that one?
There's been so much damage done.
And it's just that pressure straight into mid! Angel! He's been doing it all tournament long. And Nozwa just going for that desperation spray through the wall. Matters not.
What am I watching?
Yeah.
Angel in this tournament is a man possessed. These aren't possible kills to get.
He doesn't care. He does not care.
I mean, he is just wide swinging some of the best fraggers in the tournament and deleting them. And I think this, you're seeing it here. The feast or famine playstyle that Angel has, when he feasts, he just leaves the match engorged. He's crazy.
Good luck trying to get to the top of the scoreboard if you're CNED or anyone else.
And because Angel is just so happy to take duels like that.
Yeah.
When it goes badly for him, as we've seen in some previous tournaments, it can really hurt his squad. But when he's popping off, he just pulls out ridiculous stuff on the regular.
So a timeout is going to be pulled out of Leviatán, looking to try and contain some of this damage that's been done to them. It's not too far of a lead so far just for Navi, but this could very rapidly get out of their hands, especially because this Leviatán, they were knocked down to that half by now.
Yeah, and if Navi take this map, it's boding extremely well for the series. If you can beat Leviatán on their best map, and Navi have a deep map pool, they're probably taking this.
Yeah.
That's why this first map is such a cool litmus test for both teams. You get to see them both up right at the top of their strengths.
Clash of the Titans.
And right now, off the back of Navi winning both pistols and now the second half bonus, they're looking to be in control, I would argue, for the first time in the series. First time in the map.
One-way setup, no noise being made here. Cena just making sure that he takes a high ground position. Jumps down as well for back of that flash. Horn catching the position, 2 players. Spammable there. A lot of the players just backing up.
That's
all the way into tree.
Such beautiful utility though, isn't it? You see how much pressure the Leviatán A defenders are under and how quickly CNED runs in.
Yeah. They've got even more as well. As soon as that door's broken, fragment nade, pop flash play as well, and it's just buying even more time. Dash forwards though. Leviatán looking to try and take some space with that one, cut up the crossfires, but don't really have the tools for the job on that half by round. At this point, just hoping to maybe get a rifle or 2, take some guns out, but you don't want to be giving any ult or points as well. So dying to the spike is going to be the best play they can make.
I mean, look at the Navi economy. They're going to be able to buy for so many rounds into the future. They're almost going to be maxed out.
CNED knows.
Well, 1 kill, but it's really not going to make a difference. Yeah. CNED's already sat at 6,000. He was going to be money capped heading into the next round. They can afford an attacking AWP if they want to go for it, although I don't know really why you would. CNED's been so great there. Oh, he goes for it anyway. Fair enough. Adding a different flavor into the half. But I love that utility combo at the beginning, and it showcases how well prepared Navi are. I feel like what we've seen from Navi in the tournament so far is perfection through preparation. By putting in so much prep work, and Bala's talked about it too, it's not just from Angel and Doombros, it's from each player perfecting the small micro adjustments to their utility.
Fight to be taken though, CNED. He
wants
it, he wants it. Cloudburst across. CNED's going to be wondering, okay, is he still pizza? Did he back away? But
CNED also knows that Taco is not opping. The economy did not allow for it.
And an important round for Leviatán to try and get ahead now, because he bought into this one fully. Alarm bot going to be triggering, backing away though, so pulling that util out of mid. Really slow round by Navi, understandable when they've got that operator. Can't really take things at a faster pace.
And look how safe in spawn Nozra and Taco are. Because this is where Angel decided to wide swing them previously.
They're just waiting for it. Dart's covered up. Some hope of maybe just a bit of a warbang angle there to be found if it lit up any players.
At any point, this can pivot back through Catwalk too. With Zipan staying in Gelato in A main, they can go back and make this an A split whenever they like. And that is going to put pressure on King. He's already used that nade.
The pressure so far has formed diamonds out of King. And this guy, he's willing to stand up to the challenge. Horn spotting him out though, backs away to the safety of Jenny. And he's got the backup of the rest of his team still. Navi will swarm the site. Can the angle be watched for? Mazzino, again, can't quite get it, but it is traded out. Taco, knives out, right click, wow, shells down and out. And no more time to plant the spike. That's the danger when you run down the clock in that fashion.
Great defense from Leviatán, but it's not King. I mean, I suppose he gets the first, which is a great shot. But it's mostly the other players that come in to try and bail him out, Taco in particular. This position over at Heaven takes down Zipan, who was the only player in A main, and once that threat is neutralized, I mean, what a great decision to dive forwards and give your own life to deny the plant and make it easier for the rest of your team. Selfless jet play from Taco. Gives them the round and a buffer to their economy. They need to put a couple of those together.
Yeah, that's only the first stage of this grand plan if they're to try and come back into this map and bring it up even.
think also what you're seeing from the A defenders, King in particular, actually Mazzino as well in the prior round, is that they're getting caught out a little bit by that haunt. The haunt that lands on top. Oh, and Sugetsu just blazes down Mazzino. Does King choose to anchor this? Or
No
leave?
choice, man, no choice. No time like the present still, Taco. I have an angle, drops down, has to take the dart out though. CNED holding inside the smoke. What an intelligent reposition. Now you're gonna see that damage being done, still fight being taken. Tackle just opened himself up a little too much there. Navi assuming the post plant position. Leviatán's economy not in a good enough place where they can try and fight this one. They have to back away with the rifles they've got. And so Navi gonna be finding themselves on that 11th round, one step closer to potentially claiming the map.
It's a very different style of attacking on Ascent, but I'm loving what I'm seeing from Navi. And I think it all comes down to how well they've integrated CNED into this team. Do you remember when we heard the post-match interview? I believe it was from Xiao, where he said at the beginning when CNED joined Navi, he was doing Ascend things. He was running in, he was getting over-aggressive, he was fighting when he probably shouldn't. And now he looks like a drilled but still aggressive part of this team. Every time that Navi creates some space for him, he takes it. And he goes exactly to the limit and no further.
He's found a balance.
He's found a wonderful balance under the tutelage of the rest of these hyper-disciplined players. CNED getting inside the smoke is such a good move.
Yeah.
And it's the space is created for him by a tag from the Cypher Cam onto King. So he's forced to get somewhere safe and pluck it out. It's just all hyper-intelligent.
Really drawing out that economy. Mazzino forced down to that full armor frenzy. Not ideal. Just got to start now. This round here. Navi so grouped up. Looking to try and take that fight. Cam does it spot it. I think Taco might be revealed ever so slightly. Knife against the side. No chance of him reactivating that dash. So has to play a bit more passive, a bit more patient, but plenty of time to strike, maybe take that fight. Nanoswarm at his feet. Just pushing him back. Even a drone as well tagging, but this is a different approach, isn't it? Updraft play right into market. Shy finishes him off.
Good work. I mean, not a bad play by CNED by any means, but Shy spamming into the smoke finds his head. Another first kill, by the way. I've stopped keeping track at this point, but a pivot into Mazzino. And this is the player with only a frenzy on board, so he can't really hold on.
Does not have the gun for it. Oh, that util, look at that, even the C's as well, making sure that the smoke's clear. There's not going to be any funny plays happening. So diligent from Navi, even when they're a player down.
Big ults, though, for the retake. Null command, lockdown.
You start to see it being used. Lockdown up close. It's an awkward one. Anything to try and break it? Doesn't seem likely. Haunts going to get taken care of, but you have to respect this one. So, evacuating, backing away. I think some players are going to get detained, potentially. Yeah, looks like it. TP across will not save Angel. One more player, though. Sugetsu on Cat. With Nosworth fought and claimed, despite getting stuck. Too much to do for the Sentinel player of Navi.
Very good round by Leviatán. Finding that first kill with a spam into a smoke is one thing, but when you look at the positioning of Navi there, they came through Cat and they left Sugetsu, and the two players that were playing post-plan, they were actually ready to fight right here if the lockdown was used in tree. That's what Navi are thinking about. Oh, they have lockdown. They're going to put it tree, let's fight there. And Shy instead using it over at Heaven means they can't really go for it. Yep. They neutralized Navi's counterattack, and Leviatán take another very important round. They're still 3 behind, and they've yet to actually put too much pressure on Navi's economy.
Still been building up the bank and buying space. Taco, wow, that's such a brave fight, man.
Yeah, there's a small line between bravery and foolishness, though, isn't there? That he didn't have any support for and swung into a couple of Navi players. Is King really going to go for this again?
I mean, this is just absurd. Spots one, shot found, but Ken, just Navi. They're not going to let that go unpunished. But it's just pushing all over the bloody place. That was, where was that from?
What?
A wallbang angle from there?
What an insane wallbang position.
There's no way. Where was that even from? Through the gate?
Yeah, it's through that kind of gate area where people use, you know, breach aftershocks, etc.
Oh, you are kidding me.
I mean, that's nutty. I don't think I've ever seen a kill through there in a match before. Shy was incredibly weak. The weird part is that actually has allowed Nosworth to pick up Shy's weapon. Noswar only had a pistol in this round, so it hasn't actually made too much damage to Leviatán's defense. But Navi showing the same discipline that we were crediting King's squad with in the first half. They play slow, they allow the defenders to wonder about where the action's going, spread out around the map, and they've guessed incorrectly.
Yeah. Night 4. Across the front section of the map. Sugetsu going to be claiming his place there onto the one side of B main. This is, again, just the levels applied to the game plan. Shockdart, bit of chip damage onto Zipan, but now the play needs to be made. No command. Rips his way across, util combos, and the horn not dealt with. Mazzino, he was lit up and an easy target. Noswar left into that 1v3, Cam spotting him. And Sugetsu more than ready. 4 in the round. What a playmaker.
Wow. I've got to give full credit to Sugetsu and Xiao. Their utility, the amount of times we've seen Leviatán getting blown up by a haunt and shot through a smoke or something. Oh, here's the wallbang angle too. Look at this. Pull this one out in your games.
That's unbelievable, yeah.
Fantastic stuff. It's also a very good angle for an Odin spam too. But yeah, I've got to give full credit to Sugetsu and Xiao, because I'm looking at this Navi Ascent comp, and it differs from the meta in 2 crucial areas. They're not running a Sova, although that's not too crazy, but the haunts have been getting absurd value, and Xiao's fragging is also unbelievable. So Xiao is absolutely demonstrating the reason for that fade pick. And then Sugetsu's Cypher, in theory, works very nicely against Taco and the way that they entry into sites, but it's more than that. It's so much more. Sugetsu's getting value out of cages on the retake, and this constant cam pressure keeps tagging people around corners.
It's a weird thing to talk about. But
it is, but it's actually working.
Yeah, they're getting a lot of information.
They've tagged Mazzino for him to get killed during his ultimate. They've tagged King for CNED to push into the smoke and push him back. They're tagging many players at many times. And I think here you're seeing, you know, the different value that a player like Sugetsu can get just by playing hyper intelligently around his agent. And the setups on defense were also fantastic too. 4 map points for Navi on Leviatán's pick. On the map where Leviatán looked like the best in the tournament. Well, we might have to be adjusting those notions.
Change your expectations. Taco though wants to extend the playtime a little bit on this map with a kill like that. Lovely shot. Sugetsu removed.
It frees up flanking if Taco wants to go for it aggressively in the round. He's got his Blade Storm online, of course. King on a tiny angle.
Yeah, that's, I mean, just pixel angle. Nade as well pushing back that presence. What's the call being made? A lot of time still in this round. A one-way smoke means there won't be anybody pushing through that anytime soon, but Navi decide to cut noise.
That's big. You know that CNED is still there. I love the fact, though, that they're pressuring King's nade out early.
Oh, deep dart, though, through B main. Now they know it's got to be that A-split. So King, again, has to be the man of the hour, holding close that first line of defense as they're already trying to apply that pincer move. And a pop flash play. It is a dodge from Angel, but only bringing King down to his knees as Hunter's Fury rips its way across. Stops the rest of the Navi players from swinging through main to try and help him out. 25 seconds left. King's not going to be able to get rezzed in the midst of all of this, but it is that 2v4.
Big ultimates have had to be used here for Leviatán, but it looks like they're going to be able to take this round. Navi probably just looking to do damage to the economy here. And Mazzino wants to keep this weapon.
Yeah, you got to keep these rifles in the economy. You've got to be honest in this one, guys. Back away. There's no way they can win the round. But at that point, there was just pride on the line, is what it feels like. Maybe get a couple of kills, you know, get the confidence going for that one. Still, 3 rounds is what's going to stand between them. Either losing their map pick or potentially bringing it to that OT.
Nice adjustment from Mazzino there on the A defense, breaking the haunt so that King could hold a close position. We talked about Xiao getting tons of value out of his utility. It seems like Leviatán is starting to adjust to that. But if you're starting to adjust in round 21, oh, that's a little late.
A little rough. Fragment over the top, and there's that again. Waves of utility that are so damn punishing. That was a seize fragment If that caught anybody holding that common position, they would have been toasted.
And that is a spot that King likes to hold at the beginning of rounds, and then he drops back to Generator most of the time. So a bit of a pump fake from Navi.
They do love to do it, mixing in a couple of noise cuts as well, making sure that they can throw off the opponents. Down to that minute mark in the round, so everybody of Navi now grouping up towards B.
Shy is in a really safe position right now, just jump peeking mid. Angel's going back sight in the hopes that he might be unhurt.
I mean, TP's boathouse there, maybe for a bit of information, I'm not too sure. Still Cam up top can be dealt with, and, well, there was a dart, Horn removed, still the dash forwards. The play not being cancelled, instead Navi want to take the fight straight to them, but already losing a player, being one down at the back of the site. Gonna be matching them, and there's a bit of pressure being relieved. Mazzino TP's into the back, and he's got that paranoia. Sent flying right through Cat, needs an upgrade though. Looking to the back of the site, Noz was being destroyed. There's 15 seconds left in this round and it could still get dangerous, but absolutely magnificent. The prediction shot into the cloudburst, knowing exactly where the players were going to be placed.
Navi had 4 chances of winning this map and dealing a mighty blow to Leviatán. And they've squandered 2 of them. Leviatán just looking so good there. Shy is constantly spamming into these smokes. I mean, and the amount of times that he gets it perfect. He just times the dash and knows the duration, knows the distance immaculately.
Owner is just so animated, that guy.
Wouldn't you be if you were coaching in this match?
Yeah. No, I'd be stoic. I'd be like Mike. We sat there.
I'm not saying that this is a must-win map for Leviatán. We don't know too much about Fracture, and Taco went crazy the last time they played Pearl. So it is feasible that things could still go to 3. Maybe Leviatán could still win, of course, if they lost this first map. But I think most roads to a Leviatán victory start by getting to OT and winning here.
So it's forced Navi to take their final timeout, at least of the first and second half. Discussing what to adjust here, because rapidly running out of opportunities to close this out. 2 more available to them.
Shao's picked up an Odin, and that makes me think that that timeout is him discussing with the team. I think we can punish Noswa early on. Noswa, though, not actually running an Odin in this round. So probably not going to be in the same position, although he has been holding, you know, Recon Dart, Shock Dart, and he is jumping up there.
Oh, yeah. He's on the line. And so biding their time, waiting for the dart, I think, actually. Dart, any sort of spam? No. Unlikely.
Shy looking for another one of those first duels that he's been almost immaculate at, swinging off his turret, but just gets the info that CNED hadn't gone aggressive into B main. This is slow, cautious from Navi, prodding around the map as the tension builds.
And the hope is that tension eventually will cause Leviatán to crumble a little bit. Maybe misstep, but so far they've been up for the task in most of their series when they've been on this global stage. No strangers. Those really tense situations in his pixel angle king. He's held here before. Prowler in his face though, forces that. So the nade's gonna be used to try and push them back. Now Mazzino, hell of a task. Paranoia cuts his way across, and a smoke as well through main. Just pushing through, there's nothing else to really help it out, but Mazzino once more laying claim to it. CNED though, forcing the issue, isn't he? Pushing all the way past Jenny. Cloudburst up top. Angle created. Taco though, the operator, it's so hard, and CNED, man, he's taking the fight right to them. Bladestorm in his hands, punished with the shorty.
This is everything for Taco.
He's got to do it right here, right now. It's got to be that 1v2, and it's just not possible. Map 1 completely finalized and finished up there. Navi, what a way to do it.
Incredible scenes there from Navi. Everything from their preparation to especially the way that they used their utility and got CNED into positions on the attack side. Very impressive. CNED coming up with the goods. towards the end as well, when things looked like it was possibly going to OT. That is a big blow for Leviatán. It's probably the best map that they've demonstrated a lock-in, and Navi have stolen it away.
Stolen it away and more. We'll see if they're capable of being able to bounce back. Of course, up next, that is that Fracture map. So, you know, that's going to be interesting to watch here. But some of these highlights as well. I mean, Angel, this guy just, again, towing that line between feeding and really just pulling off miracle plays.
But he has been miraculous so far at this event. I mean, no one has been able to punish Angel in the same way that we've seen at prior events. Look at the frustration on Ona's face. I think that says it all. The next map is Fracture. Leviatán have been banning it second round every time. What do these teams have to bring there?
Absolutely. Well, map 1 done and dusted, but still even more to come as we head into Fracture coming up right after this.
Red Bull gives you wings. Red Bull gives you wings.